Hello, let's do another game here. Still at the Grand Slam chess final. We're looking at the game Magnus Carlsen against Fabiano Caruana. Magnus starts with this and choose this game because now Fabi, if you remember 2 games ago, Magnus played e4 and Fabi played e4 and then Magnus played the French, and now Fabi is playing the French back against Magnus. Just a few weeks later, and Magnus goes for an opening that's quite interesting. It's the kings. It's this kind of a setup here. It's basically Magnus has started to play this even more now later, where this is a setup. It's often you play like Magnus does here with black, and it's called the what's it called? It's called it's basically, actually, let me just show it. There is a line that goes like this. Something like this, maybe. I don't know. Something like this. That. Like this is I like about the same position as with other colors, and now Magnus tries to play that setup with white instead of black. Like you can see, it's exactly the same position here. And often when you play black openings with white, you don't get anything special, because even if white lose a tempi, he still has some advantages often. And here you can see black has lost 2 tempi, so both played e5 and then e6 and then e5, and it's also black, but still it's just an equal position. So this just doesn't give very much, but it's a new position that they can play here, and it's quite a topical position here, quite a common, normal one to play like this. I think this kind of a tabia is very popular from the Italian also, but nowadays in the Italian they don't do this. It's in Italian it's usual for black to stay with the pawn on d6 and don't do d5, and as I understand it, this kind of tabia, this typical position, maybe sometimes a little bit risky for black. So it was quite smart of Magnus to play like this and maybe transpose into that line that maybe it's not so common nowadays. But the computer thinks black is fine here, so it's fine. So this this bishop's knight b6 here looks. It looks a bit wrong and unnecessary to me, at least. There is not needed to take this doubled pawn. And here, apparently, bishop c7 is a mistake, because white can activate his queen like in the game. So apparently he should have done f6, because to meet this one with this one. But now he managed to activate his queen here. Why can't black take here? Okay, so it's because this is if we go here, then g4, and if here it's still problems here. I see. That's quite an advanced queen trap here that he can't take on d3. But of course, if Magnus plays like that offering a central pawn. Of course, you think why has he done that? He doesn't just blunder that. So he has some kind of idea, and the idea is rook d1 and then trap the queen and the bishop. So now the position is a bit better for white, as we can see here. So because of that, black tries to change. If you feel like the game is going in the wrong way, like the last 5 moves, black was a little bit better. Now white is quite a bit better. So it has gone bad for Magnus. No, it has gone bad for Fabi. So it's a good idea here to maybe sack a pawn and try to do what is it called? Change the nature of the position. And he's doing that by sacrificing a pawn and do some exchanges here, simplifying the position. And maybe he can win back the c2 pawn, so it's not so clear. He's probably winning back something, maybe c3 or e4. Some of that. But yeah, but still looks like, because white's bishop is a little bit more active and also white's king is a bit more active, this is still a bit better for Magnus. And here it starts something which I think is very, very impressive. Like this looks kinda equal, but Magnus will play very strongly here and win the game from here, because I think it's a sad position for black, but still it's a bit surprising that he can't hold this like with good play, because it's so even, like 2 or 3 pawns on one side, 2 on the other, same rook, same bishops, like. But of course, yeah, white king is more active, and b6 is a weakness. And again, it's typical position of 2 weaknesses here. b6 is a weakness, and white needs to create another weakness on the king side for black, so he can play against 2 weaknesses. Then he can probably win the game. And he's doing that by pushing h4, h5. And the reason for that is, of course, to fixate the h6 pawn, so it becomes a weakness. And if g5, then maybe sometimes the rook can go around and attack h6 from the 6th rank. So here we can see that, yeah, white is already winning now for the computer. So here we can of course not take because of the check. But it must feel good for Magnus. Last game he tried against Fabi, he tried to win so hard and then he lost the game. But now the game is quite similar. Like Magnus is pressing and trying to win hard, and this time he will manage to win here against Fabi. And of course f6 here is the last thing, because now a lot of things will get traded. But of course white will be 2 pawns ahead, because a5 and b6 is lost, and then that is enough to win the game, of course. Let's see how he did it. But white has to be a bit careful, because the a pawn is on the wrong square for the bishop. So if black would be able to sack his bishop on this pawn, it would be a draw. But it's not possible to do that if white plays carefully, as we will see here. So This is strange. The computer think this is a mistake, but it says mate in 16 whatever he does, so I don't know about that really. Let's see what they played. Looks like it's a checkmate here. Oh, he gave up. And now it's easy. He is going to go bishop here and then get a queen. So notice again that he didn't let black take the pawn with the bishop. Then it would of course be a draw because it was the wrong squared bishop. So yeah, impressive mental spirit from Magnus that he managed to play such a good game against Fabi and win such a technical game after the disaster last time. And as I said, this typical position, this tabia, is supposed to be a little bit dangerous for black. So nowadays in the Italian, they are not doing d5 so early. Instead they are keeping the black pawn on d6, I think. And this here was a key moment here where white made it was possible to activate his queen here on the queen side, but if he had on f6 then he couldn't have activated his queen and it would be an equal position. Okay, we have two more games here from the Grand Slam, chess final. So see you then.